A vast brick wall made of the remains of dead princesses, a tall, ruthless queen, and magical flowers that make you superhuman. Let's go back in time to when I wrote these chapters for my novel, Royal Jelly. The first chapter, called 9, is meant to be a luxurious and intimate dinner setting. This is where we get to sit with Queen Nasira and see how alone she truly is in her vast castle, although she appears to like it that way, and shows immense disdain for the 10 children she just adopted becoming toddlers and filling her space. One of her maids comes into the dining hall with horrible news. One of the babies has passed. Not only do we see how Queen Nasira towers over everyone and the influence she wields over her people, but we also see how detached she is. It was surprisingly easy for me to write Queen Nasira in such a detached way, and maybe that says a little something about me. The next chapter, called The First Queen, is where we get a history lesson on the origins of the queendom of Hyvina. The chapter itself formed pretty easily, but I struggled with what tense I wanted to write in since it was the past, because I like to write in first person because it feels more immersive, at least to me. The entire story of the very first queen is told in this chapter. How she was chased away from her kingdom, how she wandered the mountains for days before a flash storm appeared and a lightning strike caused the magical euphorbia flowers to grow, to the devastating effects of what happened when the commoners saw how powerful the first queen was and flocked to the mountains to harvest the flowers, only for many of them to fall sick and begin to drop dead in the streets. Queen Ramona's history is Queen Nasira's favorite story, and we get to see that Queen Nasira is very one-track minded when it comes to these babies. You get a sense that their lives are just a means to an end for her. And that leads us into the third chapter I worked on, called The Weeping Wall. The Weeping Wall is one of my favorite features that I implemented into the queendom's history, and I really took pride in making its presence make sense. It's a vast gray brick wall that sits at the north of the queendom. You can see it like a decaying spot on the horizon from just about anywhere in the queendom. Each brick on the wall symbolizes a fallen dwarf queen who succumbed to the royal jelly from the euphorbia flowers. Each brick is filled with trinkets of the lost children and then cemented on the wall to tell the long and gruesome history of this queendom. You get to see the subjects' confusing relationship with the royals of the queendom and their traditions, and for the first time, you see Queen Nasira demonstrate fear, right before heading into the next chapter where all the surviving dwarf queens have grown up, and now they each have their own vendetta.